So we've got a purpose-designed jig here to show our customers the difference between our three grades that you can get our Land Rover kits in. At the start here we have our comfort grade, which is 65 Shore A. This is our softest grade, which is comparable to your OE bushes, your OE rubber. It takes very little to get to deflect, as you can see here, and it also has a relatively slow spring back rate, which matches your OE specs. So on this particular setup, this is ideal if you want to restore your vehicle back to OEM feel, OEM setting. It'll obviously react just like your rubber bush, so ideal if you want to just keep it as is. Cool. So if you want to say just, when the rubber starts to break down, crack, the car starts to feel a bit loose, saggy, any of them feelings, this will just renew it, take it back to OEM.
So I've got an early Defender, and I want to stick this back to how it should feel, the factory fresh feel.
Yeah.
That would be the one to go for.
That is definitely the one to go for, 100%. So yeah, that is the 100%. This will also give you the most articulation in your axles, so it will be the least resistance to get full droop, which is what you want if you are off-roading a lot, if you're green laning or anything like that.
So this is going to track the ground better.
Yeah, right. That's it. Exactly that. So at the end here, we'll kind of go to the end and take a look at this. This is our performance grade, our Red 85 Shore A, and it is a lot stiffer compared, and it takes a lot more force to get to deflect the same amount, and it has a much bigger spring back rate. So in terms of what this actually does for your vehicle, it gives it a lot more control feeling through the steering. Everything's a lot more taut. This is ideal for if you're towing. You're basically stopping any uneven tire wear, keeping it tracked. Again, just gives you a better steering, general overall control of the vehicle.
So fitting this allows your suspension to work more efficiently, so it will resist movements less. So the big weight on the back of the vehicle, so when you're towing, that is going to stop and resist the axles from sort of pulling and deforming.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. And what about the orange one? What does that
spot on? So the orange is our dynamic grade. It's our all-rounder, so it sits right in between. It's 75 Shore A, and as they run it, it's an all-rounder. It's got the best of both worlds, and this is something that would be ideal if you just want to have a slight upgrade from your OEM settings, but obviously not going to the full extent. So if you do, a bit of green laning, but a bit of towing, now and again, a good mix, 75 Shore is ideal. So again, you've got nice spring back rate, so feeling of the car is nice and tight, but again, it's not, it's not too hard that you won't get the full articulation of the suspension. So that is your all-rounder.
To go over them again, then we've got the 65 Shore, which is the OEM equivalent.
Yeah.
So that's great for refreshing the vehicle, bringing it back to stock if it is older.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you an OE feel. So exactly how it would have been from the factory. This one is the performance grade, which is 85 Shore.
Yeah.
That is going to give you a more direct feeling vehicle, which is great for towing because it isn't going to deflect the axles as much when you are putting load through the vehicle, and it's sort of resisting that forward motion.
That's it.
Okay. And then the dynamic 75 Shore, this is kind of a hybrid between the two. You will get good sort of tracking of those axles when it's going over the ground. It'll find its home nicer, but it is going to make the steering a little bit more
just a little bit sharper. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.